Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check the video out today. Really appreciate that. And guys, today I want to talk about what you actually need in terms of electronics. You know, the big hoo-ha the last couple of years in bass fishing has been, the live scope and, all the advancements in electronic technology. But I sort of want to give you guys my opinion. If you don't want to get caught up in the whole rat race of that and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, but you still want to have some units that allow you to do a diversity of things, we're going to get into that in today's video. Also, guys, just a quick invitation. I'd like to invite everybody to consider subscribing here to the Fishing Teacher. Man, we've really been pushing hard to get to that 20,000 mark. We're a little over 15,000 now. And if you guys are interested, it's free and easy. Just hit that subscribe button. You can unsubscribe anytime you want if you don't like it, what's going on here, but much appreciated with that. Okay, guys, the whole thing about electronics, you guys that watch the channel, especially on my other channel, you hear me talk about how ridiculous the electronic technology is, because there's some guys right now that have $50,000 worth of electronics on their boat. Most people don't want to keep up with the dang rat race. They don't. It's almost like a cell phone. It's like they come out with a new one every year, and it's sort of the same with electronic units. They come out with a new one every dang year, and people think you got to have it to catch fish, and you don't. So I really want to, talk a little bit about today about what you can get by with at the minimal amount of expenses to do it with. Now, here's the thing about it. It's like, in my opinion, the only thing that you need is a unit that has 2D sonar and GPS. Sometimes if you fish a lake that is not very big, or you know the lake real well, you don't even need a GPS. And also, guys, I'll link some of my recommendations to the the not bargain, but what I'm saying is the reasonable cost units in my Tackle Warehouse link in this description. Tackle Warehouse carries a bunch of electronics. I'll put some of my recommendations if you guys would like to check that in the link of this description. But anyway, all you need is 2D sonar and GPS. Guys, out of all the years I've been bass fishing, all the years, I've had side imaging, down imaging. I've never had live scope, but I've had, the down imaging, side imaging, 2D sonar. And out of almost $2 million that I've won in my career fishing tournaments, I have never caught one fish that I caught off of anything other than an old flasher or 2D sonar. Nothing off of down imaging, nothing off of side imaging, all 2D sonar, basic, simple technology. Now, the GPS does help out a lot. There's two things that the GPS will help out. It'll help you locate the areas that you've caught fish in before. Say, for example, if you catch fish off a laydown tree in the back of this cove and it's 10 miles up the lake, you can put it on your GPS and you can go right back in there without getting lost. It's a really good navigational tool at night or if it's foggy out. And you can also use that GPS to get out on some, offshore structures a little bit easier. So there is some advantage to that. But the 2D sonar will get you everything that you need to do, guys. It's like 2D sonar will allow you to locate bait fish. You can even see fish on it. Obviously not in real time. You can locate contours and drop-offs, different type of depth zones. And that's all you really need, because let me give you an example how to fish offshore with not spending any money. You can take some of the low-cost units, like I'm going to link in this description here, and let's say that you idle around and graph a main lake point with a very reasonably priced 2D sonar unit. You can see any bait fish, bait balls out there. You can actually see fish if they're around them, fish on the bottom. And then you can determine if you want to fish that spot or not. It's a good indicator. If you go out there and you graph around on a point with your 2D sonar and you don't see any activity, it's just clean as a baby's butt everywhere out there, maybe a good idea to move around, try a different spot until you at least see some sign of life out there, to some point. But the main thing that I want with the 2D sonar unit is just to find the depth. I could literally, if you just gave me a piece of electronic equipment that just told me how deep it was without showing me anything else, I think I could catch just as many fish, because when you're fishing, shallow water targets or down the bank, down a rocky bank or whatever, as long as you know the depth, that's really about the only thing you need to know in terms of the lure presentation that you need to use based upon the water clarity in correlation with that water depth. Now, the only variable with this, once you decided, and this would be my recommendation, just to go to 2D sonar or 2D sonar and a GPS combo, the only variable with that is the size of the unit. Now, You know, the units that they have, like at Tackle Warehouse, you got 5-inch unit, 7-inch unit, 10-inch unit, 12-inch units. Obviously, the bigger the unit, the wider the screen, the more expensive it's going to be. But it's easier to see. It's like if you're like me and you have to have reading glasses, most of you guys over 40 years old do. It's a lot easier to see whatever you're looking at on the screen on like a 9 or 10-inch unit versus like a 5-inch unit. So that really just depends on your eyesight, how good your eyesight is more than anything else. Ideally, if you can get away with it, you can get by with a 5 or 7-inch unit. You know, they're going to be the most low-cost units out there. They're going to do the same thing that a 10 or 12-inch unit's going to do. It's just not going to be quite so easy to see. So main thing I wanted to encourage with this video, guys, is don't get caught up in this rat race that you got to have the latest and greatest and best. You can get by with just a basic 2D sonar unit, and you can do about anything you want to with that unit once you learn how to adjust it. I'll give you guys 2 tips on how to get the maximum visual effect or the best reading out of your 2D sonar. There's a chart speed indicator on there that basically tells, you know, how fast your chart's moving across there. Make sure that you set your chart speed at the same speed that your boat is idling. So say, for example, if you look down on your GPS and you see that your boat's idling at 4 miles an hour, try to set your chart speed at 4 miles an hour, and that'll give you a real accurate presentation there. And also adjust your sensitivity a little bit. You can play with it and adjust it a little higher if you're in deeper water, a little bit, you know, less if you're in shallow water. You know, you want to be able to see objects or bait fish in the water, but you don't want it to black out with that. So you sort of have to tweak that based upon the water depth that you're in. So anyway, guys, hope it helps out, and we'll talk later.